Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Lunch Saloon Series 3. Today, we are going to talk about how we can build inclusive 6G through technical leadership, research collaboration, and contribution to standardization. This lunch series is inspired from the Techetry session that we had from the WiTaR working group in collaboration with pre-standardization working group and the SNSJU project SNS Co-op. So we had a session there, and as a follow-up of that session, we have this lunch saloon series where we try to bring how we can build inclusive 6G through standardization. Today we have with us Dr. Albena Mihovska, and she has been actively contributing to ITUT, ITUR, ETSI, and been involved in standardization since 2006. She's also been with IEEE SAP 1955 for 6G empowering robotics. And she's also active as a working group 3 chair of 160 Association. She is also a member of IEEE R8 Conference Coordination, Vice Chair in Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and also in IEEE Nanotechnology Council. She's also the founding member of CTIF and also the board member of Euromersive. So we are glad to have you, Albena, with us. And with this introduction, I want to give the stage to you. Please enlighten us and show us the roadmap how women can shape the technologies that define our future. Over to you, Albena.
Okay, thank you very much, Boja, and good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining this talk. I hope I will enlighten people, but basically this talk was prepared based on, of course, my personal experiences as well. So it is my perspective. And in this regard, as I'm involved with 6G, this talk will not be only about 6G, but it will be about how we can shape 6G so that it can serve everybody's needs, and it can serve society and can serve economy also in a global way. Of course, I believe that we women have a lot to contribute to that and bring very special perspectives to the processes. So that's why I decided to focus on the importance of diversity and importance also of diverse research collaboration, and also the importance of standards into this landscape. And I appreciate the introduction, and I'm also very happy that, of course, I'm part of NSME in the Netherlands, which is actually featuring women in the leadership positions. So this is very motivating, and we are very proud of that. Of course, I'm also very proud of my role in 160 as Working Group 3 chair, because I find that this is also an open platform for collaboration, which also is very motivating and stimulating. So without delays, and so now, sorry about this. Okay, great. So I have designed, actually, because of that, my presentation as a roadmap rather than like some kind of talk. I would like to bring, of course, my thoughts on technical excellence, diversity, and why 6G matters. I also would like to share some of my personal experiences, and also discuss with you at the end in an interactive session. I understood there will be time for this. Also, hearing some of your perspectives and your views on some of the questions that I have been facing. As a short introduction, I would like also to bring back to this motivation, no factor of 16G, at least personally for myself, but 16G as an association was launched in March 2021. And it was created as an invitation to researchers to collaborate in a very open way and presenting all their perspectives. So it is a very open collaborative framework, and we look there into various aspects of related to 6G technology, to what is, let's say, needed to solve real life problematics, real life challenges, and of course try to shape or provide our vision on how we can shape 6G to really serve economy and society in the best possible way. And one way we approach this is through having a focus on various verticals. So basically we have focus on verticals from smart manufacturing to healthcare. And we have representation also of various stakeholders and end users that come from these verticals. For example, we have clinicians that participate regularly in the discussions when we talk about, let's say, robotics surgery or how to deliver healthcare to remote regions. So this is very important because at the end, the technology that we create, the system that we design and enable should serve these end users, and it should also serve them in the most positive and resilient way and be very reliable. And with this, I would like to stress the importance of synergizing these perspectives. So on one hand, we have the technical excellence that, of course, involves good skills, expertise, rigorous research, high standards. On the other hand, we have the diversity of perspective, which provides us with varied experiences, provides us with a possibility to see and explore new use cases that we as technical experts may not have seen before. And this, of course, puts us into a perspective of global solutions that we need to create for global problems. And these two, let's say, sides brought together is what drives, in my opinion, innovation. So only through such combined, let's say, or joint force, we can have better technical solutions, more sustainable designs, and broader impact. Technical excellence without the diversity risks that we provide good solutions for the wrong problems. And of course, diversity without the technical excellence means that ideas may not get implemented. But jointly, this is what drives innovation and really can achieve broader impact. Of course, now we are at a time when 6G, let's say the roadmap to 6G is being defined or has been laid out. And here is the time when everybody should be heard and should be able to speak and should be encouraged also to speak, so that we not only create a new generation of communication systems that is faster, but it would be fundamentally different. And on top of everything, it should serve the people and the society and the economy in the best possible way. And here we have a number also of challenges we need to face, like it's very important that we have a technology that serves everyone and everywhere. This is the human-centric design, so humans should be still in the loop and should be also central as an end user. We need to think that we need to account for sustainability at scale. So this is, of course, energy efficiency, but it has a much larger connotation than simply reducing or trying to minimize energy consumption or be more energy efficient. Actually, 5G has managed to achieve more energy efficiency per communication bit, but on the overall energy consumption, especially with 5G and 6G, is being increased due to a number of very complex components that are being implemented. Of course, we have the higher rise need for more data processing. We have the AI. So AI is, of course, important now also to be embedded into the networks, not just glued on. And also we need to focus on how to provide solutions for holistic security. So this is really from the chip to the cloud and at the end to the end user. So this is still at the moment in a nascent phase, and there are possibilities for everybody to get involved and help define the standards and help shape the research agenda. So it is the time to get involved at this particular moment and really design a technology that will serve us in the best possible way. And I have kind of collected some statistics. This is a bit of approximation, but having said that, now it's the time to get involved. Now is the time also to try to close also this representation gap in R&D, in 6G R&D. And although the statistics that are shown on this slide are kind of approximated from some various sources I have looked at, these two pictures are very authentic. So they are pictures from my own participation in some events. And you can very well see that there are only like a few women into a big room of men. And I believe that, of course, these are choices, so we can choose differently. And I think that we as women and researchers and technical experts should try to choose to participate more and give, of course, more of our own vision and experience. And this is what can make us stronger at the end. Diverse teams are important, and this is again some more statistics because many reports that have been done recently, they have shown that diverse teams can generate up to 60% more creative solutions and 20% more innovative ideas than homogeneous teams. And later I will give also a concrete example. This is, of course, every person brings unique lived experiences and perspectives. And like if we decide to exclude or not to include, maybe not decide to exclude, but not to include these experiences and perspectives, we are missing out on in innovation. We don't address the needs of a large number of the population. And of course, the solutions, they will be only partially, like, let's say, valuable and applicable and bringing positive outcomes. Similarly, it has been shown also security teams that have featured diversity of gender, age, and ethnicity make better decisions 87% of the time. And also companies with healthy gender balance are 21% more likely to outperform competitors. So these numbers, they are competitive numbers, but they are not only about personal gain or profit of a company. This is more about what, of course, we can bring to society by being more inclusive and by trying to include these various experiences and perspectives. So the whole, in a global way, society can have benefits, economy can have benefits, and of course this means better quality of life for all of us. So that is why I believe this matters. And I also have recently worked on, let's say, a concept where we had focus on virtual immersive experiences for museums and for exhibitions. And suddenly, of course, we realized that, yes, we need to think what happens to the visitors who are sight impaired, for example. How can we enable this experience also for them and be very positive one? And similar other impaired groups that this should be accounted for. So when we design, we have to design, and when we are inclusive, we also design to technologies that are more accessible and they're accessible to everyone in the population. And I believe that in my personal journey to 6G, which actually started a long time ago, more it was about the time when 3G was being not defined, but let's say taking deployment stage. I have noticed 3 moments that personally for me made a difference and made me also look into matters today as I'm presenting here to you now. The first one is the environment. Environment matters, and I had the good luck and privilege, let's say, to be to start in an environment of a EU funded collaboration in this project of the 4th EU framework program. And there I, of course, learned a lot because I had my peers that had maybe more experience. I was a young researcher. And I learned a lot, which, and I had, of course, the possibility to express myself, which, of course, resulted in a very good understanding and learning curve that shapes me and shaped me further and helped me also go along this path. I would say grow, because I felt I have grown along this path, but these were the first very important moments. So this is simply to point out that collaborative and diverse collaborative environment, because as you know, EU projects, they are international, so they have different participants from various organizations. It is a very important nurturing environment, and as long-term academic experience and mentoring students, I have always encouraged also my students and opened my network to them, because I believe that this is really a very strong and positive learning environment. And I continued, of course, this journey along the generation, so to say, in other EU-funded research projects that were very large and very transformative in their way, because they were shaping 3G, then 4G, LTE advanced. I was also part of a project that laid the foundations for the wireless personal area networks. So this was a very, each of these projects had various players and various organizations, various perspectives. And I'm also happy to say that there were also a good number of course, female researchers with which I had the privilege to interact. And together, like, of course, this provided also sufficient, let's say, skills for me to also complete my PhD, which actually led to a moment to confidence crisis, because I had this like, oh, I don't know anything. There is so much out there, and how am I going to manage? Can I really pull this off? So there were a lot of such shaky moments, but being in a strong research environment with diverse perspectives, it actually helped me to overcome it. And that's why also I personally, from personal experience, feel and strongly supports that PhD students should not be left alone. They should be closely mentored. They should be supported. They should be exposed to a team environment where there is collaborative research and opinions can be shared and discussed, because this is what at the end helps you be a successful researcher. And the moment 3, I had also the privilege to be introduced to standardization and to learn how these things work there. And coming from academia into a standardization meeting provided me with the valuable experience to understand how industry thinks and see this perspective without being part of the industry, of course. But this showed me what happens behind these closed doors, and how requirements are discussed, how actually products and specifications come to light. And this was a journey through some of the participation in the study groups, 13, I think, at the ITUT, and then some contribution also from my PhD to ITUR, where I developed, not only I, but this was also with some, in collaborative research, we presented at the WRC, I think in 2012, our testbed for multi-rat resource management. So this for me was a big success. And later I was also lucky and being able to be a part of establishing the focus group at ITUT on standardization in academic education. And this journey has been very beneficial and has given me a lot of perspectives to always consider when I think of in my research as well, and ability also to learn from very strong experts. So at the end, I believe this is how maybe I can make an impact today also this talk, because my learning curve is that impact does not come from trying to fit in, but it comes from trying to show up authentically and trying to also build your technical credibility. And this is how, at the end, you can make impact, and also being part of the research teams. So the journey, let's say, I would say from starting to impact as a researcher is having 4 critical stages. The first stage is being able to ask the right questions, like questions like, what is the problem that I'm trying to solve, and who is why is this problem important? Who is it going to benefit? For example, that's just an example of some of the right questions. But yes, always, and nowadays I know that any kind of let's say grants, if you are looking for funding, then you have to have end users on board. And this is in particular because you have to solve a real life problem, not some kind of hypothetical in the future problematics that may not serve anybody. And the stage 2 is the diversity in the design process. So bringing the various perspectives, as I mentioned, various user groups, various stakeholders, various levels of expertise into a collaborative design. This is what can, of course, also help you solve the problem in the right way and make impact. Bringing technical excellence and combining it with inclusive design, with inclusive perspectives. This is also a very important stage, and I say this is the next stage after, of course, you design it. So trying to bring these perspectives together. And finally, translating the research into standards. I have mentioned this in a previous talk as well at the Techritory, which maybe you remember, but yes, research, like being in academic research and being a researcher, is something that is more like in a low technology, let's say low level of technology realization, I would like to say. So it is more ideation. So there is like you have the possibility to be innovative. And that's why I believe that academic researchers should be also participating into standards, because they can bring these perspectives, and jointly the experts in standards and the researchers from academia can try to shape, let's say, standards that really can serve all the stakeholders very well. And this is when we can achieve the impact. I mentioned that I will give an example with how diversity is important for the solutions. And this is an actual study that was related to providing a biometric authentication solution in Southeast Asia. However, and this solution, as per the available information, was proposed by a homogeneous team. And this homogeneous team was designing really like without considering the specificities of these rural regions in Southeast Asia. They are designing for very high-end devices for extremely reliable connectivity. But at the end, what happened is that this solution failed at 40% with rural users in Southeast Asia. And this happened because the team missed this specific connectivity problematics of this particular geographic area. As far as literature says, this was alerted by, of course, female researcher or female stakeholder, and consequently, the solution was modified, and it came into a two-tier authentication model with graceful degradation that currently is also deployed in the 3GPP Release 18 security framework. So this just shows that diversity in research is really critical into identifying these particular aspects that may be missed by only a one-sided, let's say, vision. That's why inclusive design needs, of course, to be featuring a variety of perspectives coming from various stakeholders and participants. This inclusivity, again, is something that motivates me to be part of the 16G Association, because here we have exactly a lot of focus on including a variety of stakeholder opinions. So we have, of course, the core vision that 6G technology should enable smart connectivity for sustainable societal development. And we should address challenges in energy, health, cities, and so on. But then we also have a strong focus on inclusivity and ensuring that we have a diverse inputs from vertical domains, from various stakeholders, from various types of end users. And of course, we synergize this into strategies that provide kind of roadmaps on how we can harmonize the use cases, how we can harmonize go-to-market ideas. And in this way, we are able to coordinate on a global way and inclusive way the efforts towards 6G. In, let's say, support of the previous example, I want to also show, for example, that looking at sustainability today is also something that is not a straightforward, let's say, glove that you put on. It is the traditional approach, and I mentioned this also in the beginning, was to try to reduce network energy consumption. With 6G, of course, this is becoming much more complex. As mentioned, we have a number of more complex and data processing demanding equipment. We have also, at the moment, ITU has put energy efficiency as a core KPI together with spectrum efficiency as part of course, the requirements framework. And while energy efficiency is defined as the data rate versus the consumed power per joule, we need also to remember that with 6G, the problematic is more complex because we have to deal with distributed architectures, we have to deal with dynamic workloads, and being sustainable and reducing network energy consumption is a much more complex problem, so to say. And if we also look into the various geographic regions, we need to account for the various needs and various, let's say, usage scenarios in these regions. And this here diagram is just to show that, for example, in North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, we will have much more use of wearables that would require connectivity as well. We have a much larger use of smartphones, of laptops, compared to perhaps regions like Africa and Latin America, where the needs are a little bit different. And this also has to be taken into account. So we need to bring these perspectives also into designing sustainability strategies. And I believe like with the advent of agentic AI, this is becoming possible. It's providing us a framework where we can have communication between the various parts of the network through the AI agents. We can have awareness of what is needed so that we don't take decision at one level of the network, which would impact negatively another level of the network. So if this like agentic AI framework can be designed and can operate and allow for this communication, then we can have jointly decisions taken jointly, and this is one way to really make sure that we can be energy efficient and we can reduce energy consumption, and of course at the end have impact on society. So technical problems need to serve the populations and the needs of the populations, and cannot be, of course, taken into isolation. And standards, of course, are very important to shape the future. I have here listed some of the most prominent SDOs, and 3GPP, for example, is considered to be the most influential standards body for cellular technology, whereas the ITUR sets the global spectrum and regulatory frameworks. ITUT is looking into the non-radio telecommunication standardization and interoperability. There is also emphasis on, of course, smart cities and such more, let's say, human and user-related scenarios. ETSI is the regional European standards development, but it has also global impact. Then we have IEEE standards work and specialist bodies which focus on specific domains. Also 6GIA is coordinating across stakeholders and of course focuses on emerging concerns. So in these standards, diversity is also important, because if the women's expertise is not present, then the standards will not reflect the women's need, putting it simply like that. But in these particular discussions, it's very important to remember to be diverse and to be inclusive, so that we can address the needs of the at the end population and the ones that are going to use this product. So my journey in standardization, I already mentioned something about it, but let's say I started by participating to meetings and just listening, not really speaking much. Then I started submitting some contributions, and I mentioned we showcased the testbed for the multi-rat resource management. And finally, I was able to mentor some of the younger colleagues, and also contributed to this establishment of the ITUT focus group on standardization in academia. So it is technical work to advocate for inclusion, right? So we have to build our technical credibility, and this is when we can stand strong and make our voices heard. And as I mentioned previously, this synergy between research and the visionary concepts that research looks at, together with the standardization that seeks consensus around the mature technology, needs to be closed. Like the synergy should be enabled, because if these groups work separately, then we are dealing with the deployment gap, the timing mismatch, and also we exclude the stakeholders whose expertise is most needed. And these are like academic researchers, startup innovators, representatives from the underserved communities. So this is something that should, of course, be kept in mind. And how can we open doors for the others to build technical credibility? This is basically a question that reflects on how we create our environments. And by creating our environments, we define also how diverse the technical contributions will be. So if we don't create a diverse environment, we risk that we will have limited solutions, limited contributions. And the best way is to link all these strategies together. So have the deep technical mastery in one domain, but also built in public, to choose the collaborators with intention, because we want to use their perspectives. We want to hear their opinion. Also to ask the good questions and really like focus on what we are trying to solve and for whom. And also to be comfortable to make mistakes, because at the end, if we are alone, it's much easier to make a critical mistake. If you are in a group, then we are able to solve any challenge jointly. Yeah, so I think that's it. I have one slide that shows a little bit as an example how we do this in 16G. So we try to focus on the multi-stakeholder collaborative framework, and so we have structured technical groups where we address complementary dimensions. We try to build knowledge iteratively, and also I'm very proud also of this open lecture series platform that provides accessible knowledge transfer on specific topics. This is very quarterly, and you can find all information on the 16G website. So what is an actionable roadmap for you also to build technical credibility and impact? So I think first it's to deepen the technical impact. So become a good expert in your knowledge area and get very deep technical knowledge. Then enter standardization. Try to voice your opinion there. Try to also learn from what is happening in standardization, and try to build a research collaboration and mentoring. So get involved also into mentoring. Speak, share your research, connect with your peers, collaborate. These are, in my opinion, the ways to achieve impact. And I would like also to say why I agreed to do this talk. Anyway, thank you, Pojo, for inviting me. I'm very happy to be part of this, but I believe that the 6GIA WiTaR initiative shapes 6G for everyone. And it's documenting this representation in 6G, and of course brings best practice development through inclusive research frameworks. And also this platform provides good visibility and support to amplify women's technical contributions. So this support in women in technical leadership was very motivational for me to join today and to accept this invitation. So finally, I have some questions if we have room for questions and answers, but let us interact and see how you think, and would you do something differently after my talk, or maybe some of your barriers that you face. Yeah, here are the questions on the screen, so let's interact.
Thank you, Albena. I think it's a great way to get more exchange. So the platform is open. Anyone who is interested can raise hand. We can go turn by turn. Okay, Albena, maybe by the time others are reflecting, maybe I would like to go. So you had spoken about your journey, and you nicely broke it down also on the shaky moments. I mean, I think every one of us have shaky moments where we know we could be correct, but we are not that confident to speak up. So how you could strategize there, or what is that one thing that that could work in a given situation?
Okay, so it of course depends on the situation, but of course I think that before you ask questions, of course you should do your studies, so you should be familiar with the topic, not just ask questions because something occurred to you, but you have to have the confidence of that you know about the matter, right? And I think that this technical knowledge that you build up by yourself, by learning and going in depth into also studying various sources, can give you this confidence. I think that, of course, the environment should be promotive. Like you shouldn't feel like when you ask the questions that somebody will slam you down. So, of course, this is not always in our control, but I believe that when we have a strong knowledge base, so to say, that we can be more confident, and we will not be afraid that somebody can, of course, try to shut us down in a way. And I've had this in this first European project where I had to do the midterm review, or was the annual review, and we were actually, there were some concerns. So the reviewers, they asked me very directly, and I wouldn't say rudely, but let's say they were showing their concern, and I was able to stay confident and to really answer, because I was confident that it was not a problem, and I had a solution, and so this worked. And this was for me, let's say, the first time where I understood that if I stay confident, that you can manage any situation. But I believe that the knowledge and coming prepared is what is the first step to be confident. So definitely this is it.
Yeah, thank you. I completely agree with you. I mean, preparation is the first step that leads to more confidence, and also knowing your area is very important.
Yes, that is it.
Any other question from anyone?
Well, I mean, I put these questions. I think that you can reflect on them if you want later, so it doesn't have to be exactly here. Maybe nobody's so confident, but yeah, I hope that I could make some difference into maybe what you would you're going to do after this talk, and that maybe you have learned something that you haven't thought about this before. But in any case, I'm also very open to answer questions after this talk. So feel free to reach out, and I will be happy to discuss with you.
Thank you, Albena. I also wanted to highlight here that during the Techetry, we also had a chance to record a podcast. And in lieu of the same, I dropped the link in the chat if anyone is interested. So here in this podcast, also we talked about how we could advance research and standardization synergies in emerging technologies. So here we also had other speakers, including Albena, and we heard some real life experiences, learnings, etc. there. So feel free to run through the podcast also, and also share with us if you're interested, or what could be the next topic that would interest you, so that we can bring a line of speakers on those topics, so that we can have this momentum of lunch saloons ongoing. I also see Bahare, who is the chair of working group. Bahare, would you like to share some insights?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Thanks a lot for the really nice talk. Maybe just one question from my side, maybe a little bit imaginary question. So if you met yourself at the beginning of your career, as what the knowledge you have currently, what help would you do, or what recommendation would you give yourself, yourself at the time?
Maybe be more focused. I think that I was at the time in the beginning, like, curious about many different things, and maybe I should have been more organized, I think, in the beginning. But on the overall, I think that I had very good support framework around me by my, of course, PhD advisor, by my mentors, peers. So this all has turned out in a good way for me. But I believe that it's important to stay focused and try not to do too much too soon, and take it step by step. I think that this is something that probably is a good start, not to get overwhelmed, because research, as I said, can be overwhelming, and the vastness of knowledge, when you come to face it, is something that I had at one point when I was doing my PhD, and was writing, and I was like really lost. But I think that try to, of course, be focused, and also I wouldn't say this I would have done differently, but I believe that it's very important to try to build this strong support framework around you. And if you feel something doesn't feel right, that you lack support, that you're not being, let's say, as a young researcher, that you're not getting the right environment, then you should trust yourself and try to change this, because it is really important to be in a supportive environment in your early research stage. This is what shapes you, and this is what can give you also the vastness of knowledge that you need to build in order to stay confident.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So that brings us to the end of the session. Albena, thank you so much for enlightening us and breaking it down for us how we could be there, get there, show up, and be more confident and build our journey in the technical areas. And personally, I really liked your suggestions on the best practices and always showing up and building your expertise. So with this, we conclude this edition, Lunch Saloon Series 3, and we are open for the next series. So if anyone is interested, please drop us a mail, and we'll be glad to have you. And until next time, follow us on LinkedIn and let us know how we can support you more. So with this, thank you all for joining and having the patience.